You come on in and jump into the show. How you guys doing? So if you do not know who I am, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. It's really, really nice to meet you. How you doing? I'm from Minnesota, and it is actually Minnesota today. We actually did get some sun, some snow. How bizarre. Like we were like 80 degrees on Friday in some parts of the cities. I just happened to be in those parts. It was gorgeous, like upper 70s. And then last night we came out of a business meeting and look at there, snow. So welcome to April in Minnesota. It was kind of almost like an April Fool's joke, right? So anyway, everyday Cheryl, good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Every day we go live here, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we talk specifically about insulin resistance and all of the different connections. And I'm just telling you, like your best friend ever, like just grab a cup of coffee and let's just chat about the fact that insulin resistance is the base of freaking everything in your life. I'm not even kidding you. It's crazy. Today, the subject is going to be why your body needs cholesterol, 7 critical roles that keep you healthy and alive. And this is from some Dr. Ken Berry information. So stay tuned because we did a cholesterol thing last week. If you want to see replays on anything, jump over to my YouTube because that's where everything is getting stored. When I go live here on Facebook, it's actually streaming over onto YouTube at the same time. We've been doing this, y'all. We've been doing this for a little over a year now, where we go live every day like this. So there's a lot of content over there, and you can subscribe, whatever, but you can keep up because Facebook is now deleting Facebook Lives after 30 days. So FYI. So last week we had talked about cholesterol. And this was such an important conversation because the way that we are, when we go to our providers, they are giving us this overall cholesterol conversation answer, and then they're putting us on those STATINSs. And the issue with that is it's not the proper picture. And so I love grabbing information from people like Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Eric Berg, Maria Emmerich, etc. And so usually every single topic that I talk about is because I've been talking to one of you in my inbox. Like you guys are the creator of the content. Do you understand that? Like you guys are creating the content. I'm not a doctor. I'm an Italian girl who was raised by an insulin-dependent type 2 dad who died of diabetes type 2 at 63 years old. So my Italian family, my lifelong whatever environment was a lot of food. You ate because you were happy. You ate because you were sad. You always knew that you went to the funeral instead of the wake the night before because there wasn't going to be any food after the wake. If you could only choose one of the two, go to the funeral because after the funeral, you were going to have food for days and it's going to be amazing. And that's just what it was like to grow up in an Italian family. And all the men had these big bellies and they'd wear their belts way down low. And like, this was my life. I mean, from being a very, very little girl, I knew where the hypodermic needles were in my dad's dresser. I knew where the good morning, Cheryl. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Loving on TikTok. TikTok requires love in order for the information to get spread out. And so I appreciate anybody who sits and taps on the screen. I so appreciate you. You have no idea. And so you know, it was the hypodermic needles in the dresser drawer and then the insulin vials in the refrigerator. And I was just taught from a very young age, you don't touch those, right? And then I watched my dad literally tank his health. His health went down until his meds went up, his health went down, and then in his 50s, his function went down, his enjoyment of life went down, and then he was gone at 63. So this was obviously very impacting because it was the only life that I knew. So when I get married, before I'm 30 when he dies. Prior to that, I'm married and I have my first baby at about 20, right at the beginning of my 23rd year, 23, something like that, 22, 23. And I'm gestational diabetic. That right there was like, excuse me, Kirsten, You're insulin resistant. You need to understand. No, that wasn't a conversation, you guys. Like we just didn't know stuff, right? And I then just kind of lived my life as though it was going to happen no matter what I did. So why bother to pay any attention? Which is a super like poor, like that's a cop out, right? That's not taking any personal responsibility. I understand. I'm not saying I was. But I did go on then, and I just lived a very normal life of a lot of white flour and a lot of white sugar. And I just went all in, man. I just went all in. And that's how I raised my kids. And the only like caveat to that was I really did think I was doing better than the average bear because I was making everything from scratch mostly. I was like, well, at least I'm making my food from scratch. It's not, a can of this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. It just didn't matter. So in my 40s, that's when my mom really got a hold of me mentally. And she was like, you need to be paying attention to your sugars. Like, what is wrong with you? Do you even go to the doctor? Kirsten, do you know where your sugars are at? Kirsten, like your weight, it's increasing. I don't know if you notice this or not, but your weight is going up, and it's kind of, I'm sure she was kind of like looking at me sideways thinking, your dad died when you were 30 from type 2. Like, hello? How come you're not paying attention? And so that is when I started to really be concerned enough to assess my body. Am I drinking too much water because I have dry mouth? Am I peeing too much because my body's not functioning properly? Are my wounds healing or are they not healing? Those are the things that I started paying attention to. And so I want to give everybody hope. It wasn't until I was 50 years old that I began to really turn my life around. 50, you guys. So I'm 60 now. I just turned 60. So in the last 10 years, I went from total hot mess hormonal express because insulin is a hormone to I love my life. I am not going to lie. I love my life. I love how I feel when I wake up in the morning. I've lost 3 sizes in my 50s. I'm not on any meds. I'm the only person in my immediate Italian family to have avoided type 2 diabetes. I did it with supplementation and food ingredient trade outs. It's the exact same thing I teach you guys. And I feel really amazing. I feel so good because insulin resistance makes you feel like trash. It steals your sleep. It steals your energy. It steals your mental capacity. It steals a lot of things. It steals your calendar because now you have a lot of doctor appointments and Walgreens pickups and managing medications. And then you have side effects and maybe you have toilet issues. And I mean, it goes on, right? It goes on. And I think the clincher for me was really when I took care of my mom with dementia, which is now said to be type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance of the brain. That was really a key for me of going, yeah, I won't be doing that because dementia sucks. I mean, with a capital S, it sucks for everybody and including her. It's not as though she didn't know something was wrong. She knew. And that's hard to watch that, right? So this is why we go live here every single day, Monday through Friday. Good morning, Megda. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Patty. Oh, you guys, you're all here. Party on. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Okay, here we go. Rock and roll. So I wanted to do another installation of the cholesterol conversation. Very much so because somebody had asked me a question about like, do you limit eggs? And you have to understand that we have old paradigms in our brain that are still stuck with us and we have to get rid of them. Okay. So I immediately went to the person that I like some information on this the most, and that's Dr. Ken Berry. And I found a video of his, and I'm going to bring you his information today because I think this is going to really bless you and help you to like just go forward a little bit in this conversation. Okay. It takes time for us to undo things, because we're so aligned with what we should and should not be eating, from the low fat craze to, animal food is bad for you to, fat makes you fat to all of these things. And it's just like, they've just lied to us and they've marketed to us. And if we had not become in the last 40 years, more obese, more sick, and more medicated, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. If everything they told us made us healthier, stronger, live longer, higher quality of life, more joyful. Depression has been crushed. It's been like eliminated off of the face of the United States of America. We'd all be like, well, rock and roll. You guys gave us some pretty darn good information. That's not what happened. So this morning, I was even having just a voice text back and forth with somebody. And she's like, just thank you for talking to me. Because you go to the doctor and they do not know. They don't know. And it's a hard pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie. It's a hard pill to swallow. That's why I'm so grateful for people like Dr. Ken Berry, who literally give up their practice and they just begin to become educators online to help the mass population to understand, you guys, you've been given some really bad information. Let's fix it. And then all of a sudden we can become, we feel better. Our bodies are functioning at a higher level. Like we have energy, we have mental clarity. We're having less doctor appointments, less medications, more memories being made, and the quality of our life increases exponentially. So let's do that today. How does that sound? If you have never seen me before, put a 1 in the comments. I would love to know if you're brand new to my content. If you've seen me before, even if it's only been one time, put a 2 in the comments. And if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. And if there's anybody in your life, it might be your daughter, it might be your daughter-in-law, those that you think need to hear this information, because maybe they're at the precipice of perimenopause. They're at the precipice of hormonal upheaval, hormonal upside downness. And I'm telling you, insulin is the first domino to fall. Nobody's talking about it, but we will every day because you can actually finally lose weight. What would that feel like? Because if your insulin is high, you're not burning fat, not today, not tomorrow. If your liver is tired and toxic, you're not burning fat. It's your fat metabolizing organ. And the hamster wheel continues. And then, of course, all of the other things that include Patty is a number 2. Thank you, Patty. You're amazing. Okay, so let's get talking about this cholesterol thingamajig. I love how he laid this out. So what if I told you that without cholesterol, you would be dead in minutes? This is all coming from Dr. Ken Berry's information, just retooled for myself here. It sounds extreme, but what if everything you've been told about cholesterol being bad was actually wrong? Today, I'm going to show you the 7 critical reasons that Dr. Ken Berry has laid out as to why cholesterol is essential to your health and why fearing it could be one of the worst things you could do for your body. Oh boy, do I want people to listen to this. Don't ever go on an STATIN. Just don't. Just don't. Oh, anyway, okay. Let's take control of your health. So today we're literally going to bust the biggest myth on cholesterol. Like this is what Ken Berry has given us. So number 1, cholesterol is actually the building block of every cell in your body. Okay, it's the building block. Your body actually makes, now just wrap your brain around this for a second. Just pause for just a second. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes on the road. But just pause for a second. Your body is actually creating, it was designed to create, for a reason, 80% of your cholesterol. Because your body needs cholesterol and you would be dead within minutes without having it. Okay? Only 20% is coming from your food. Every single one of your trillions of cells has a protective membrane made out of cholesterol. 30% of each cell membrane is made of cholesterol. Without it, your cells wouldn't survive. So imagine building a house with bricks, but suddenly you run out of cement. What happens? The house falls apart. That's what would happen to your cells without cholesterol. And I'll just give you a spoiler alert right now. At the end of his video, he says, so then why do they want to take down your cholesterol to like nothing? Like why are they trying to reduce your cholesterol so far? And he goes, well, that's a damn good question. Maybe you should ask that to your provider. So that's where this is going today. So it's a kind of a triggering conversation for a lot of people. I'm just saying, because it goes against what we have believed for so long. And it's hard for us to imagine that they were giving us such bad information. Number 2, cholesterol is your body's repair system. Cholesterol isn't the cause of clogged arteries. It is not the cause of clogged arteries. It's your body's way of repairing damage. Okay? It's your body's way of repairing damage. Inflammation from processed carbs and sugars damage your arteries, and cholesterol rushes in to patch the wounds. Have you ever heard that before? Has anybody told you that cholesterol is actually the patching mechanism? It's the cement that you actually need to fill up the pothole that's been created in your arteries from high processed foods and high sugar. This is why, like, if you only do one thing today, make the decision you will never drink a sugary soda again. Like, it is one, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not, because there are things that I don't do perfect for sure. And I was the last person to get my shiz together. Trust me, I was the last one. But it's really stupid for us to be drinking sugary sodas. That level of concentrated liquid corn syrup is really unwise. There's no wisdom attached to it, right? So inflammation from sugar damages your arteries, and cholesterol rushes in to patch the wounds. That is a really big thing. So if you cut your skin, okay, you cut your skin, would you blame the bandage for the injury? You cut your finger, slice it open with a knife, you go into your cupboard and you get the Band-Aid. Would you blame the bandage for the cut? No, of course you wouldn't. That's not how that works. That's what cholesterol does inside your body. It's the repair team, not the problem. Okay, number 3, cholesterol is the foundation to your hormones. Okay, everybody just pause for half a second, right? Because aren't hormones what we want to be talking about all the time, girls? Like, we've got a stress hormone, and then that sugar insulin hormone that stores the fat, and then we've got, ghrelin that, is our hunger hormone, and we've got leptin, and we've got the satiated hormone, and we've got all these hormones. Everything runs on hormones. 100% of everything in your body, it's like the hormones. What was that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Do you guys know that movie? What did she say? The hormonies. Anyway, okay, crack myself up. You know what? You just have to live inside of my head. Patty, I'm so glad you're enjoying this. What about diet soda? Diet soda sucks too, but not for the same reason. Not for the same reason. It's because of the chemicals. Like Diet Coke and aspartame, like, it's super duper bad, right? There's so many good options, you guys. There's so many. Like, we live in 2025. Go find some Zevia. Go find some carbonated water and add flavoring to it. Like, add some flavored stevia to it, or do something. There are so many options. It's obnoxious as to what we could do now today. But that's a really good question. My mom just drank way too much Diet Coke. It was really bad. Hold on. Okay, so the hormonies. All right. Your body uses cholesterol to create, everybody listen up, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. If you struggle with low energy, hormone imbalances, or stress issues, low cholesterol could be actually a factor. Now, that's going to tick some of you off that are on STATINSs. Because why are they lowering the cholesterol and creating more issues? Well, like Dr. Ken Berry said, that's a really good question. And maybe you should ask that to your provider. So think of cholesterol like the fuel for your hormones. Okay, so it's the fuel. If you run out of gas, your car won't run. If you don't have enough cholesterol, your hormones can't function properly. Okay, this is like a really big deal. Number 4, cholesterol is essential for vitamin D production. Vitamin D as in David. Without cholesterol, your body can't make vitamin D, which is critical for your immune system, your bones, and your mood. I mean, come on, you guys have heard of seasonal depression. I live in Minnesota. Like, if you live in Florida, maybe you've never heard of seasonal depression. You probably don't have it. It's so beautiful, right? Like, you get so much sun. But we have to get vitamin D from the sun. We have to convert it in our body so that we can be happy, right? So vitamin D is very important for your immune system, your bones, and your mood. Sunlight converts cholesterol in your skin to vitamin D. What? Converts cholesterol in your skin into vitamin D. So imagine having free solar panels, your skin, free solar panels on your house, but you refuse to let them absorb sunlight. You turn off the solar panel, like whatever that means. I've never had one, so I don't know how, like, if you do anything to them other than install them, but you cover them up. Okay. And you don't let them absorb sunlight. That's what happens when you fear cholesterol. You block your body from making the vitamin D that it desperately needs. Okay. Number 5, cholesterol helps your body digest fats. Your liver makes cholesterol and stores it in your gallbladder to help digest fats. Without it, you couldn't absorb healthy fats, which are essential for brain and heart health. This is so good. This is so good. If cholesterol was so bad, why does your body go out of its way to make it, store it, and use it every day? Such a good question. Number 6, your body recycles cholesterol because it is that important. So it recycles it. If cholesterol was bad, your body would get rid of the excess, right? But instead, your body reabsorbs it over and over again because it's too valuable to waste. This proves that cholesterol isn't the enemy. It's a critical nutrient your body fights to keep. So imagine a business that recycles and reuses gold because it's so valuable. Your body does the same thing with cholesterol. And the last one, number 7, cholesterol helps you absorb critical vitamins like A, D, E, and K. So remember when I talked to you guys about like my nighttime routine, I'm usually doing it in my stories. Occasionally, I'll talk to you about my supplementation routine at night, and I'll be taking my magnesium, and one of my daily packets for my my daily vitamins. The way that it does it inside of my packet, it has the PM packet has my multivitamin, multimineral, my phytonutrient, and then it has fish oil in it and a vitamin D. And I take that vitamin D out and I set it aside for the next day because I actually want to take it with some fat later on, like the next day. And I don't want it to like mess with my magnesium because I'm a magnesium lover. And if you've not heard me talk about the new magnesium launch, like I don't know where you have been. But the new magnesium is so amazing. It's a triple blend. But anyway, but your vitamin D is fat soluble. So you need that cholesterol. So if you have to have that. Without it, you can't absorb fat soluble vitamins. And your fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K. A, D, E, and K. All right. Without these vitamins, you die within days because they control vision, immune function, and blood clotting. If you stopped eating fat completely, your body could not absorb these vitamins and your health would crash fast. Did you know that? Did you know that? Hold on. I know I'm missing something on Facebook. I apologize. I can see it when it glitches on me. I can see it. Okay, so going back to then this conversation that I was having, basically, she's asking, would eggs, how do you limit eggs? Well, this is basically the nutshell of what we just said. Cholesterol is not the enemy. It's actually a superhero that your body creates, recycles, and depends on to keep you alive. If you've been told to fear cholesterol, it's time to rethink everything. Instead of blaming cholesterol, we need to focus on reducing inflammation from sugar, processed foods, seed oils. That's because they are the real culprit. They are the problem. It's not the animal fat that they have told you. They've demonized it for so long. So you know what? If this information today kind of like blew your mind, like this is the opposite, like put a fire emoji in the chat, put something in the chat that lets me know that this was like, wow, I have not heard this, or this was really important to me today. And also always share it out with people, right? But for those of you that like, number one, did you know that, I will do a phone consultation with somebody who wants to have your supplementation customized. So this morning, I was even working with somebody who she asked the question. So, you know how we talk about we're always looking to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive, insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. That is the core conversation every day. I started by using targeted supplementation just a little over 10 years ago. And then I traded out my food ingredients. So when I talk to you guys about the trio, those are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. She asked me this question in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. She said, do I need she said, one of those happens to be for like metabolism and like targeting, visceral fat. I don't think I have visceral fat right now, and I don't have any weight to lose. And so I said, well, let's just chat about what your real issues are and let's customize for you. And so we did. We customized. I had another phone consultation just a couple of days ago. And so when I customized for her, I said, I'm going to recommend that let's trade out one of these in the trio and let's do something else. And we created a customized cart for her within just a matter of minutes this morning. Okay. And I did the same thing a couple of days ago with somebody. We got on the phone and we're like, okay, so let's pick, according to what I'm hearing you say, let's pick this. What my point is that, did you know that I will help you do that? Because if you can bring down your sugars, if you can bring down your insulin, if you can trade out one ingredient at a time, if you can trade out one recipe at a time, if you can shift these things, what you are doing for yourself is you are literally taking back your health. You are literally taking back your ability to function. And so when people say to me things like, oh my gosh, I've been on the trio since July and now it's January and they put not diabetic in my chart, I'm like, game on. Let's go. And for most people, these 3 are just perfect. It's the perfect way to start. To go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. It is making the inside of your engine work completely differently, which is what is needed. We've got to it's like taking an axe and getting to the root of what we're talking about. You have to get to the root of the weed or the tree or the problem, whatever you want to say. It's a really big deal, because if we keep putting Band-Aids on everything all the time, here, take this medicine. Oh, okay, now you have a side effect. Okay, here's another one. Okay, here's another. And nobody ever talks to you about the fact that you just might have some really basic, simple nutritional deficiencies. Like, what if that was it? What if? So last night I was at my business meeting and, I was just telling you about how at night I take this, my multivitamin, multimineral, and phytonutrient. It's like a premium set of nutritional flooding for my body. I do that twice a day. And he was talking about how his dad, about 7-8 years ago now, might be a little more. Prior to that, for about 15 years, he was having a hard time keeping his sugars in check. And so he starts using this. It's like a 3-part combo that you do twice a day. He starts doing this twice a day, twice a day, twice a day. And within 4 months, his A1C comes into check for the first time in 15 years. Now, why would that happen? He wasn't even expecting, he wasn't even looking for it. He wasn't thinking, I'm going to take this multivitamin, multimineral, and phytonutrient, and it's going to do something for my body. No. Then he went on to lose over 50 pounds. Why? These are the things. This is how I got to where I am right now. Because I go, wait a second. Why did that? I'm super like, why? Why did that work inside of my body? Why did it do that? I've done that for my hormones. I've done that for my sugars. I've done that for everything. Like, that's so curious. Why did that work? Because he had nutritional deficiencies and he needed to have his holes plugged, so to speak. He needed to have nutritional gaps filled. Like, get the shovel and fill in those nutritional gaps in your body. Like, it like fires up. It's kind of like, like if it were any kind of like a an engine or a computer that's dormant, and it like it just at some point goes roar, and the engine starts to roar again, it starts to move again. That's what happens when we fill in nutritional gaps that we didn't even know we had, and sometimes they're super simple. That's a big part of the trio. This is a different conversation, but that's a big part of this, is filling in those nutritional gaps and working on things at a cellular level. Because if you do not get down to the cell conversation with like the vitamin piece that I was just talking about, or the trio, if you don't get down to your cellular conversation, how are you actually going to make a difference in your body? You can't put a Band-Aid on your big toe and wonder why your sugars aren't coming down. It doesn't work that way. You can't eat McDonald's 3 times a day, or Pizza Hut, or prepackaged gravy mixes and whatever, Stouffer's and whatever. You can't eat certain ways and then wonder why you just had another med added to the lineup on your Lazy Susan. So when we take things back, we can really make a huge difference. Deborah, good to see you. Very good to see you. Oh my gosh, how fun is that? So, hold on. I'm just getting rid of like some notifications. So if anybody needs to, so yesterday when we were talking about like the liver, you can go back and watch that replay if you want to. And we were talking about the liver. And remember, I told you, you could put liver, and you could tell me that you wanted me to send you a cart that was customized for you, as to how I would help you, like with people who need that for like fatty liver, etc. Today, I want to be able to say like, the most common thing that I talk to you guys about is the trio. Because if you can grasp the understanding that if you work with the main trunk of this conversation being insulin resistance, you can turn things around. If you will stop the processed food, sugar, toxic train in your body, you will have less need for your body to create more cholesterol, where you're trying to put a Band-Aid on something that you actually don't want it to go away, but you don't know that because you're not being told that. So put trio in the comments if you want to see those, if you want to see these 3. This is where I started. This is such a great place for everybody to start, where you can actually get your body functioning again, fill in a few nutritional deficiencies, and get your cells responding again. Remember, it is a cellular conversation. Your cell is resistant. It is your cell that is resistant to the insulin bringing glucose into the cell. This is what's going on, right? Okay. I hope you can understand that. Next week, on Monday, the 7th of April, I will be starting our next 5-day, it's free 5-day reset challenge for insulin resistance in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And it'll be at noon Central Standard Time every day for 5 days. I will not be here at 11 a.m. next week on Monday, Tuesday. I'll be back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Monday, Tuesday, it's just a hotel thing. I'll be in a hotel Monday, Tuesday. I'm in Minnesota. I'm going to be in Vegas. And so I will do the challenge from there. But this setup is just a little more complicated. So just FYI. But if you need information on the trio, or if you need to have a conversation with somebody where you're like, oh, thank you for just like dissecting this with me a little bit, this is exactly what I do. This is literally my full-time gig, right? So I know that I can help people compress time when it is that you want to lose weight, or if it is because you need to get your sugars down or whatever. I know. And if you need testimonies on the trio, I always end with this, or at least I try to. I do have a site, and it is my name, first and last name.com. And this is how you get to the site. Let me show you. Let me show you. All right, go to kirstenliebelt.com. Oh, man. I'm getting it. So if you go to kirstenliebelt.com, basically what it's going to look like is you'll see my face. I wish I knew how to be a little more nimble. There we go. You'll see my face come up and it looks like this. And it's literally one page and it's super easy. And I think that today what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate things out into separate carts for you and make it easier in terms of liver health. I'm just going to try to streamline some of this because it'll make it so much easier. Everybody starts at a different place. And I do recognize that. Insulin resistance is always the same conversation because it is creating all of the other issues. And you may not even know that you're insulin resistant because of a test, because they're not pulling fasting insulin tests, which is really frustrating for us, right? We're all kind of in this together, aren't we? So we become our own advocates and we figure it out. But I do want to just show you that when you go here, there is a button that says right there, it's got the most words on it right there. And it's basically saying, read the trio testimonials. And when you click on that, it gives you a Google sheet that you can begin to read all of the testimonies. And the reason why that's really important is because you don't have to take my word for it. I'm 100% convinced that women are sliding into their 40s. They're insulin resistant. They do not know it. This is why they can't lose weight. This is why they're gaining weight. And it's because the hormone insulin, which is a fat storing hormone, is the first domino to go. So you might be just barely perimenopausal and you're frustrated. Deal with this. You're chasing a million other things. But if you'll begin with your insulin, I'm convinced it will take you down this road of targeting your supplements so well that you can actually do menopause well, that you can actually be then 60 and not fear your labs, not fear all sorts of things, right? Not be managed by your calendar of doctor appointments, etc. So anyway, so this Google sheet will give you lots of really good information and it will encourage your heart. And that's what's really important. So if you need information on the trio, if you want a cart sent to you with the trio in it, just put trio in the comments below and I will jump off and go back to comments and send that to you. If you are on Instagram or TikTok, you have to get into my messages. So find my DM, find my messages, my inbox, because when the live is done, that'll go away. And I won't be able to see it after all. So, but I'm so excited to see you guys again tomorrow. I hope this was helpful. And if it was, share it out. And tomorrow it'll be 11 a.m. Central Standard Time again for yet another like installation episode, whatever. And if you need anything at all, don't hesitate, okay? Because I really do love chatting with you guys about what's going on and finding out how to customize it to the best of our ability so that you feel super supported in everything that we're doing here, okay? All right. Have a great day. I almost spilled my water. Have a great day. See you later, you guys.